We finally have some concrete information behind the poster boy for To Be Hero X, a man so mysterious that not even people in the show knows anything about him. With the reveals shown in the most recent episode, we can finally build upon previous knowledge in hopes of building a clearer picture. Maybe we'll come to realize that our lone wolf might not be working by himself after all. Let's start with the biggest revelation. The man who tossed the coin to Lucky Cyan when she first arrived to town was actually X in his everyday attire. There was already some speculation that the man was X, the biggest giveaway being the coin he tossed, as he's often shown playing with them. This reveal gives a lot of significance because it can almost guarantee that he has already altered the fate of multiple heroes, because someone of his profile wouldn't be wandering the empty streets without a purpose. His small gesture was enough to change Cyan's entire perspective, which led her down the path of recovering her lost trust value. The reasoning behind what he has been doing is likely a setup for a favorable scenario for an upcoming catastrophic event, whether that's stopping Rock from reviving Zero or some greater unknown threat that we have yet to learn about. X's influence on the world runs deeper than most people would think, which was shown during Queen's arc. X, an underdog that appeared out of nowhere, snuck into the rankings of the top 10 to compete in the Hero Tournament, whose name isn't even registered in the Heroes Affairs Commission. Under normal circumstances, this would be impossible because in order to rise to the top ranks, he would need trust value, but we have zero testimonies of anyone knowing who he is. But for a reality warper, this wouldn't be an issue. There are two possibilities. First, he has plenty of believers, but their existence is hidden with a snap of a finger. Second, the source of his power comes from fear and he manipulated the world into thinking that he has the trust value of a top 10 hero. The two options are equally possible, but there's an off chance that there's a third option where his powers come from an unknown source that we have yet to learn about. X might have already made major changes to the timeline, which was evident when Mickey decides to confront X at the top of Hero Tower, after defeating Queen in a major upset, to finding it seemingly uninhabited for a very long time. X has only just received the title and both moved out the very same day, which makes things even more strange. It seems like the people of the world are oblivious that a long period of time has passed, which means X must be hiding something major from us. Early on in the episodes, we weren't 100% certain that the snapping sound cues and animation change had any real implication on the story, since it could have been just the style that they directed and animated the show. But given recent development, it's starting to feel like there's actual purpose behind these small details. Isol's arc. During Yang Chong's walkout, we hear a snap which likely indicated that X altered the outcome of this battle, having Yang Chong coming out as the victor. It's difficult to make any real assumptions for the reasoning behind this, other than it's gonna be a favorable outcome for his plans. You have to feel bad for the original Isol with everyone seemingly against him even though he saved the world. Now for Nice's arc. There was a snap during Lin Ling's fight against Rek, so it must have been important for him to win this fight, which led him down the path of becoming the commoner. In Isol's case, we had little to work with, but Nice is a special case for many reasons. For one, he was the first hero that we were introduced to, yet we know nothing about him because of how quickly he exited the show. Secondly, there's a small detail that could have been easily glossed over that may have much bigger implications. This was after Queen's loss at the Heroes Tournament. Mickey was analyzing data for what they could find about X, and right here it says that Rek had a confrontation with X in the past, which doesn't really make much sense because Rek isn't an actual villain. His entire persona was created to perform staged fights against Nice. The only reason I could think of is if he thought that X had a negative impact on Nice, or at least he thought he did. We can also probably exclude this fight being part of Shan's agenda because there's no way he would use someone like Rek to fight against X because he's nowhere near qualified. Now there's two possible scenarios. Nice is working with X, or they're at odds with one another. I personally think that we could probably exclude the latter because X is powerful enough to kill off any hero and erase their existence. There's a chance that Nice's storyline could be the opposite of Yang Chang's, someone who's corrupted that becomes good. Nice's meeting with X could have been during the same time as his ongoing personality changes, which prompted Rek to become suspicious of X, leading into their initial conflict. The process could be something along the lines of after the abuse and manipulation inflicted upon by Shand, Nice has a redemption arc where he teams up with X. Meaning Nice's death could be a part of X's plan, and he made the people who witnessed it into believing a false reality. With Lin Ling's progression in becoming his own hero, I wouldn't be surprised that Nice returns by the end of the first season. The idea of Nice having a larger role than the current negative sentiment surrounding his character goes back to the voting poll on Bilibili. The order of the episodes were strategically set up to influence the votes, which I'll discuss it in greater details in a dedicated video in the future. Due to Nice's last interaction being connected to Hero's smile, it's possible that he's in on X's plans as well. Who knows, Hero's smile might not even be a part of MG anymore, since Rock has a tendency of betraying heroes after they're no longer useful. Being the previous X title holder and possibly out of the top 10 during the current timeline, it wouldn't be impossible for it to be the case. Lastly, there's one more person that almost certainly is working with X, which was shown during the data analysis formed by Mickey, Rebel Hero 9's suspected partner of X. His overall stats is around S-, which could be around top 10 hero caliber. Considering Rek, the arch nemesis of Nice, is rated A, it's a little strange how his attributes are unknown yet they still gave him a rating. So it's entirely possible that he's much stronger than they initially thought. Unless I'm reading the stats wrong, his ability seems to be creation, which on paper seems really powerful. We're closing in on the last few episodes of Season 1, and I just know that we'll get our answers along with many more questions. I made a few correct guesses in the last video, so let's see if we can keep that streak alive. I made a lot of bold claims this time, so the odds aren't in my favor. But hey, fingers crossed. I'll be making more 2B Hero X content, so if you don't want to miss out, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.